Hey guys, Vacuum Collector and Fixer here. So, I have my Bissell Powergroom Helix Rewind completely finished, and basically I'm just going to talk about what it needs. It's going to need a new brush roll. It's pretty typical. I believe they use this on bare floors a lot because the base plate is pretty scratched, but the brush roll bearings are pretty shot, and of course there's no belt in it right now. The bristles do seem kind of worn too, so again, I'm just going to change out the brush roll. And the filters, I got them pretty clean, and they smell a lot better. See, I haven't used it ever since I cleaned it. This is the original filter, and it is very clean. I might change it eventually, because that's just what you're supposed to do with these bagless vacuums. Change filters. You can tell I have not used it ever since I cleaned it. See how clean that is. There's still some touch-ups I have to do. There's some paint marks on it. See, that's pretty clean inside there. There's a little filter. And then this filter down here is pretty clean, but probably just change it just because. This is supposed to have a Febreze scent, but it's completely gone at this point. So changing that should fix that. I already had this combo tool, I just stuck it on there. This machine did not have any of the attachments when I first got it. The cord rewind does work, as you can see. And the hose, I managed to get it pretty clean. It's still pretty yellow, though that's just how these stretch hoses are. I managed to get the dog smell out of it, though. So everything is very clean. Here is the sticker. This model 98N4. This was manufactured on the 35th day of 2013. It's 12 amps, made in China, of course. And of course, I have the extension one. I just need to get a crevice tool. And of course, turbo brush. Now, the biggest issue with this machine, and it does sound worse. I did take apart the motor. I am familiar with taking apart motors. I removed the fan case, and I removed the fan, took apart the motor. The front bearing that was behind the fan was very sticky in a way. When you spun it, it did not spin freely. It was like stuck, but it wasn't locked up. It was just stuck when you moved it in a way. The front bearing ran, but it was very noisy. So I popped off the little cover on both sides of the bearings, and I cleaned it out, and I re-lubricated both bearings. And although the motor technically runs smoother, it runs louder than before. So the bearings in this motor are clearly damaged and need to be replaced. And thankfully, I do know how to replace motor bearings, so we'll do that. But I'll go ahead and run it. You guys probably are curious how this runs. Cord rewind does kind of like to retract, but it's not a big deal because whenever you're using it, you're going to put it in cord clip. And so it's going to stay. So anyways, let's go ahead and plug this in. I'm not going to run it too long. The wind down sounds much better, it just runs louder, so again, I'm just gonna have to there we go. So again, I'm just gonna have to change out those bearings. So, new motor bearings, new brush roll, I already have a belt, a few attachments, and a filter. Not too bad. Not too bad for a 12-year-old machine, so thanks for watching.